that when you have little banners across on financial websites, through the banner itself you can feed in information. You might have seen a lot of ads like these on Facebook as well, wherein within the banner users are asked for a poll or to vote for a particular idea or a concept and things like that. So on a banner which for years together was just being watched by a user is now actually been demanded for a user to take an action within the banner itself. So this is some kind of new things that the industry has kind of witnessed.
Right. So moving ahead, let's take the examples of some properties of the biggest portals in India. So this is Rediff News. It's pretty self-explanatory. Then to give some other examples, Yahoo floating ad, which if you see, it's actually getting dispersed over the entire homepage, and the Idea brand used it very effectively for its education themed brand awareness campaign. And you see the pencil which is being which is really moving all across the homepage. And this is the LREC, which is actually an expandable ad on Yahoo. This is a site capture. It's called the site capture by Sifi. The India Times intersocial ad, and this is some stuff on cricket sites. So basically, that those were some So those were some examples of some domestic properties, and just wanted you guys to get a flavor of typically how these ads look. Let's come to something which which a lot of media planners spend time on, which is in trying to understand, which is how do rates actually get determined? So how do you know if Rediff logout banner is asking X for every 1,000 impressions? How do you judge that? So here I'd like to maybe take Bevin and take a view on this question.
So typically this data, varies from a media owner to media owner. A typical homepage is like the most expensive property within a particular website. But sometimes, like we started off the conversation was, you must take a very, very strong call as to what your target audience is. For instance, if there's a particular section within a site which is viewed more by your target audience, then it is only worthwhile placing and having an ad up there. Okay, what Kaushik means by, I guess, reach is, for any successful plan, you need to have a mix of reach portal, a little mix of some small time local sites and innovation and so on. For instance, if you're running an ad primarily targeting audiences in the south of India, of course you will have a reach portal, because of course visitors from the south also has a look at a Rediff and a Yahoo. But it's also very important that there will be a few local websites which will be popular within the south, which may not probably shoot up in any of your planning tools that you have, but it is definitely going to have a great impact once you use it in your campaign. Targeting is the second factor that needs to be looked at. A lot of websites now give you customized targeting. For instance, you don't need to necessarily only book a home page or book a logout banner for your campaigns. A lot of websites have studied the kind of data that they have been receiving and has refined it for advertisers' benefit. What I mean by that is many media owners are now offering portfolio targeting. For instance, on a money control, they have they're able to offer users that come within a particular age group because of the portfolio that they manage on Money Control. Now, serving your ad to, I mean, if you have identified your audience well, and if you know that you want to show your ad to users who are having an income of more than 5 lakhs per annum, you can ideally just show through Money Control, just book that inventory and not book a homepage inventory. Would have been very, very expensive. That's one way of how you optimize the way you buy inventory on a lot of websites.
Right. So we see some messages of not being able to hear the audio. What about the others? Some of the other participants, can you just confirm that you can hear the audio? Okay. Yeah, and yeah, the last aspect is of innovation. Pev spoke about the others. So the innovation is also something which determines the rate, and sometimes stuff like site capture and the floating pencil example. Things like these can be really expensive because they require the site to compromise on what the home page looks typically to a loyal user. So these are some aspects on which the rates depend on. So moving ahead, obviously knowledge of various properties is, and in knowledge in the sense how they have done statistically for brands is very important. Of course, the guy who's selling the property to you will have his own data, but it's important to also get a feel of this from the other brands in the industry, and your other peers, right?
I'll also add to this is, while a lot of media owners will always prove to you that their website is the best and will tell you that it's got the number of page views that it gets per day and per month and things like that, while of course it is a good indicator for you to put it up in your plan, but it's always best to have these numbers checked in a certain way from your aspect. Like you have a lot of tools like Alexa and Comscore that share these kind of data with you on a regular basis. So it's always good to cross check and see whether you're drafting and making a perfect plan for your client, and not just depending on what a normal salesman would probably sell.
Right. Yeah. So all said and done, a dot depends on the actual creative. It is possible to get, and the only reason why someone is possible to get an above average kind of a response is because of the creative. So please always bear this in mind. And we spoke about the fact that as in a traditional advertising, one needs to have strong relationships with networks, portals, and high traffic sites. Yeah, and so what you see here is the other typical terms that any media planner comes across. So there's reach, frequency, CPMs, page views, cost per click. So CPM stands for cost per 1,000 impressions. And so Bev, what are the most common ways in which online media is bought today?
Of course, CPM dominates, and inventory for branding campaigns is 99% sold on cost per 1,000 impressions. However, yes, there are certain media owners also offering clicks. Another important term that you will probably encounter, or some metric that you need to watch out, is for the CTR, which is called the click-through rate, because this is very important when you're sharing reports to a client. For instance, you make a media plan, your client has approved it, you go ahead, you execute it, but the client is always going to question you and says, okay, so how many people have I connected with, how many people have you bought to my website? And this is all dependent on a metric called CTR. It's calculated as clicks divided by impressions into 100 as the percentage, and this is an important metric because you'll know the kind of visitor that have actually come to your website. However, having said that, CTR is also dependent on the creative, because it's the creative, it's not just the plan or the website that you've chosen, but the creative that will actually get you the kind of clicks. Having said that, there are while you run a media campaign, there are a lot of analytic tools that you can monitor the performance of your campaign during the while your plan is in process of execution. For instance, on a normal Google Analytics tool, you will probably see the kind of views you're getting on your website, from which site they are coming from, what kind of how much time is a particular visitor from a particular site spending on the website, what kind of pages is he viewing, is he just clicking on the ad and logging off before the page loads, or is he actually interested in the website, is all something that you must keep in mind when you run your campaign, because it will just help you make a template for yourself when you design future plans.
Right. So let's look at some new targeting methods. We spoke of the usual targeting, in which you are trying to understand the demographics, the psychographics of the consumer, and that this is something which whenever suppose a Yahoo salesperson is talking to a media planner, for various properties he'll talk about the various demographics of the consumers who are coming to Yahoo. But there are newer targeting methods which are getting preferred by advertisers, and we'll spend a couple of let's just do a couple of slides on them. One of them is behavioral targeting, and I'll actually just ask Bev to tell you guys what this is about.
Okay, so behavioral targeting is, as the name suggests, it's something to do with the behavior of a user. For instance, if a user has visited a movie section, a movie website, you know that this visitor is more inclined towards entertainment, and hence an entertainment ad will be displayed to him. So this is one innovative way of targeting, which is of course been liked by many and is being used very popularly.
Right. So yeah, it's based on the websites or pages visited or keyword search, which basically reflect the behavior of a person. Right? The